All right, good morning. Good morning, MLB. MLB Friday today. We are up and at 'em here on September 5th. So we are in the dog days officially. But actually, kind of transitioning out of the dog days into the playoff race. This is where you get that second burst of energy. When you're a player, you can see the finish line. If you're way out in first place or close to playoffs, you can almost taste the champagne of getting in there. That the first 7 months of hard work will be done and under your belt. And 7 months, I mean the first 6 months of the season, which is the regular season plus the full month of spring training. So it takes about 7 months to achieve playoff status. And right now, they're less than a month away from tasting that and feeling that. So that's kind of where we are at in the season. Thank you guys for joining me today on Friday, MLB Friday. It's a little bit of a different group of guests. Not guests. Little bit of a different audience than over on my channel, Adam Ottavino 0 on YouTube. You can check me out. It's been a busy week. We have videos up there breaking down Jonah Tong, Peyton Tolley, both of their debuts, a whole bunch of Nolan McLean stuff. I have some Giancarlo Stanton stuff, as he had the best OPS in the major leagues in August. I have some P. Carl Armstrong defensive stuff. So feel free to hop over to my YouTube page, Adam Ottavino 0, and go check a lot of that stuff out. But let's get the show started today. All right, here we go. We'll hop over here and we'll get in the standings and see where we stand. See where we're at. All right. Toronto, 3 games up on the Yankees, and they're about to start a series. Actually, do they start today? I guess we'll look at the probables. I believe they start today. Yankees, Blue Jays. That's going to be a huge series. So 3-game lead there. Red Sox right behind them at 3.5. Tampa Bay, who's won 7 in a row. They're not really in the picture for the American League East, but they have now crept themselves back into the picture of the wild card for sure. Detroit, 9.5 up on Kansas City. Houston, 3.5 up on Seattle. Houston loses the series to the Yankees 2 out of 3 in a very hotly contested series. I think Houston has to be taken. They need to be taken very seriously now that Yordan's back in there. I think that changes their whole lineup, changes the whole outlook of how they look offensively. Pitching wise, they're going to need a couple guys to step up besides Hunter Brown, but I definitely like Houston's momentum and the fact that Seattle has been in a miserable stretch right here. Seattle got swept by Tampa last time we saw them. They start a new series tonight at Atlanta. See if they can get out of their own way and start winning some ball games because they have a good pitcher every night. So you would think they'd be winning more. All right, Philly, 6 up on the Mets here on the 5th. So that's a pretty sizable division lead. Philly starts a series at Miami. Mets start a series at Cincinnati today. Brewers, 5.5 up on the Cubs. Cubs are hanging in there. They could maybe still win this division. 5.5 can still be done at this point, but remains to be seen if that will actually be done. Oh yeah, we were talking a little bit about AL East. Texas. I neglected to talk about Texas in the division race because they are 5 out of the division, but in a way, they've been the best team in that division if you look at run differential. And if we go ahead to the NL West, Dodgers, 2-game lead on the Padres, 7 on the Giants. Giants have won like 11 out of 12 or something crazy like that, 10 out of 11, 11 out of 12. So we have to go to the wild card because now we're getting into the nitty gritty. American League wildcard race is awfully tight. Seattle is holding down that last spot with the Rangers chasing them. My bad, did not mean to click on the Rangers. Rangers chasing them. Royals 2 back. Now the Rays are only 2 back. So we have 4 AL East teams that are in the mix. I don't think that's ever happened. I don't think four teams from one division have ever made the playoffs before. Can you imagine if all 3 wildcards were the AL East? That would be crazy. And Cleveland's 3.5 out. So they're in it in the peripheral. Who's chasing the Mets? Now, the Mets and the Padres have both been dipping a little bit. So both of their spots are kind of a little bit up in the air. But they have the cushion of a 4-game lead over the Giants and a 5-game lead over the Reds, who have not played good baseball. Giants, we'll keep an eye on them. They have a lot of momentum right now. But We'll see. You know, they just played the Rockies. Now they have the Cardinals, so they got to keep it going if they're going to creep a little bit closer. This is a big series right now, though. Mets at Reds starts tonight. The Reds are going to get all the rookie Met pitchers, who are arguably the best Met pitchers right now. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Can the Reds turn it around at the last second and kind of sneak their way in? Are the Mets going to collapse? Are they going to, refind it here and become the team that we thought they were this whole year? There's a lot of questions coming in. But last night in baseball, there was only a few games. Last night we had, if we go to the scoreboard here, we had Thursdays tend to be one of the weaker days in terms of total number of games. Phillies, there was a 2-0 win there. Ranger Suarez really showed out in that game. Freddy Peralta, I think, extended his scoreless streak to beyond 30 innings or so, which is crazy. Pirates swept the Dodgers. That's the game we're going to watch right away. We're going to watch Paul Skenes pitch. Rays beat the Guardians. That was that aforementioned 7th win in a row. White Sox beat the Twins in a game where two teams are really going nowhere. Angels lose to the Royals, so the Royals, looks like there was a late inning maybe comeback here. We can check on that. And the Yankees beat the Astros, like I said, behind a couple big swings of the bat, and Bednar hanging tough there at the end. So first I'm going to get in the chat for a second here because the chat's pretty robust already. And then we're going to get into Paul Skenes. All right, so I have the chat on a different computer because my setup's a little different when I do the MLB screen. So don't mind me looking over here at the chat for a second. All right. All right, a lot of people in the chat that I've seen on my side too, which is great. My guy Richard, Janfred, big Rays fan over here. Rays with another win, they're coming. He's been calling it for a few days, so we'll see if you get your which, Richard. Do we believe in Texas here? I have believed in Texas all year. My concern now is that they're a little banged up. I mean, Evaldi, that really hurts not having Nate. That's their big green pitcher, so I'm a little worried about Texas, but they're right there because Seattle's letting them in. Seattle's letting them in the door a little bit. What do I think of the Mets rookie pitchers? Well, I think at the moment, certainly McClain is the best pitcher on the staff at the moment in the here and now. Tong, we've seen one start. It was a weird game. Can't wait to watch him pitch again. And then Sproat on Sunday. You will definitely get a full breakdown video on my channel of Sproat's debut for the Mets on Sunday. He's got big velo. He was kind of the guy that we heard about a lot last year. 100-mile-an-hour guy out of University of Florida. Very curious to watch him pitch. So listen, that's 3 rookies coming up in a pennant race. That's very strange to see. And we'll see if that pays dividends for the Mets. If it does, that's a huge feather in the cap of the organization. They didn't just do it by spending money. They did it by player development. And that's something that takes a lot of people, takes a village to develop these guys. So it'd be really cool if they can impact the team. Giants have such an easy schedule for the rest of the year. Now, playing the schedule game is always funny. This is something that growing up I used to do a lot. I would look ahead on the schedule and say, and just start penciling in wins and losses. But having gone through it, I realized that you got to play the games. Anybody can lose to anybody. There's no scheduled wins. There's no automatic wins in baseball. I recall back to the 2022 Mets. We ended up getting swept, I believe, very late in the season by the Nationals. Everybody wanted to point at the Braves series that year as why we didn't win the division, but we lost to an inferior team 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3 at home late in that season. So those are games that people were penciling in as wins for us. But again, you got to go out there and do it. And then there's a lot of talk about these Mets pitchers, a lot of excitement about Sproat. Just tune into my channel. I'll give you all my thoughts on Sproat. I've intentionally not watched as much of him because I want to have fresh eyes on that game and enjoy a debut for the first time like everybody else. And then there's a couple questions about PCA. There's a video I have PCA playing defense. The bat has fallen off a bit in the second half. I think he'll heat back up if he starts swinging at more strikes. His big problem isn't his swing or his talent or really anything. It's just a matter of he's a little too aggressive, and pitchers now know the damage he can do, so they're not giving him as much to hit. And the Rays have Gavin Williams tonight. His K per 9, worst on the road. I feel confident another win. So if the Rays can win their 8th in a row tonight, that would be awesome. But let's do what we came to do, right? Let's do what we came to do. And that is break down the stuff from last night's game And so we got to go look at everybody's favorite phenom, Mr. Paul Skenes. After last night's game, he's now completed 29 starts this season. He now has a 1.98 ERA, which very closely matches his 1.96 last year in his rookie year. This guy's ridiculous. I keep waiting for him to fall off, to have a bad stretch. He simply will not have a bad stretch. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the pitch mix from this game yesterday for Paul, because it's interesting how he's kind of a shapeshifter. He pitches differently, a lot of different games with his mix. But one trend that I have noticed, and we'll keep an eye out for it in this start, is he's really gone away from the splitter pitch. The splinker. This was the pitch last year that I had multiple batters tell me was one of the nastiest pitches they've ever seen. They were giving it triple plus grades. And yet, he's backed off from it. And yet, he's shoving even better this year with an increased reliance on changeup, which actually has a very different movement profile, but allows him to play the speed game a little bit, the front-to-back game. So this is the breakdown from today, the game we're about to watch. He pitches 6 innings. He throws 39 fastballs, 15 changeups, 13 sweepers, 13 curveballs, 9 sinkers, 3 splinkers, and 2 bullet sliders. We'll keep an eye out. Looks like the fastball is going to be effective. 8 whiffs on the fastball in this game, 3 on the changeup. Minimal whiffs everywhere else. What else we got here? Movement looks like whatever. Velocity was up a bit in this game on a lot of pitches. So anyway, let's get into it. Pirates and Doyers. Paul Skenes, Shohei Ohtani. Wow. Whenever you have a leadoff hitter with power, so think Shohei, think Acuna, think George Springer, think Altuve when he's in the leadoff spot. There's always the question of, do you go with that first pitch fastball? Because you know they're swinging, and this is their chance to get that cookie and launch it over the plate. Ohtani's certainly one of those guys. Skenes gives no craps about that. Goes right at him with 97.3 and beats him with the first pitch. Ohtani's swinging well under that ball, so this ball got on him pretty good, and he gets himself to an 0-1 count. Another really good spot with the fastball, this time up and away. So already in this at-bat, he's working from most hittable to least hittable. This pitch is less hittable than the previous pitch as it shaves the up and away edge. And he's going to go for a 3-pitch fastball strikeout. Actually repeats that second pitch beautifully. But it looks like to me like Shohei takes a little bit more of a calculated swing here, not as big. Let's see what we see from the side. Well, he definitely stays anchored, which he does most of the time anyway with his feet, but he's able to stay alive and foul that pitch away. Here comes a curveball. Curveball down. Now, it's an interesting curveball shape because Paul Skenes has a low arm slot. When you have a low arm slot, it's very hard to create a big number on the negative vertical break. To get negative vertical break, you need to create top spin on the ball, right? To force the ball to go downward. But when you're coming from a side angle, this is something that I struggled with. You're coming from a side angle, very hard to impart true top spin. You're going to get mostly like side spin or slurvy spin. So in order to create that, he would have to hike his arm angle up a little bit to create a better angle and get over the ball. He doesn't do that, and that's why this is, I call it a curveball, but it doesn't feature a ton of drop, only 1.8 inches of drop. So I just wanted to point that out. It is a hard pitch, but he gets no budge from Shohei on this one. 1-2 count. He's going to double up on that curveball. This one was better. Wasn't a hittable location, but it's way slower than the fastball. Shohei's out front, ends up popping it up foul. And here comes the changeup. Just a little bit of an arm side miss. I think a pretty good choice. And then he's going to circle back to the fastball and get it back up in the zone. And as you can see, Paul Skenes features that low release height for a big dude, being a slightly low slot. And we're just going to ball trace this pitch. That is the upward angle that it appears to take on the way to the plate, and this is why pitching from a low slot is so effective. Throwing up in the zone, it creates an uphill angle and a very steep situation for the batter to try to meet the plane of that pitch with his bat. And generally, if you locate up, with plus velocity. It's a very hard pitch to make contact to. And he does that with only 12.5 inches of induced vertical break. Typically, to have an impressive number on induced vertical break, it would be 16 or higher. His is lower, but he offsets that, like I've mentioned a few times already, by throwing from a lower slot and shooting the ball uphill. So he gets the first strikeout of the day and blows away the many-time MVP Shohei Ohtani for the first out of the game. And here's Mookie.
The physical ability to put the ball there. That mixture of those two things.
Taken all the way, a little get me over sweeper, middle. Now he's going to use a sinker here. Mookie very good on inside pitches. Always been known to have quick hands on the inside. Gets to this ball very well, but it does jam him a little bit. That's why he only gets the 88 mile an hour exit velo. And let's give credit to a very nice play at third base. And now Freddy. So whenever you play the Dodgers, that first inning is always funny because you get the 3 MVPs right away. Goes with the curveball, ball 1.
Have matched up against the big right-hander.
Fastball, pretty good location to hit, but again, that first look at the fastball, you're not usually on time, and that's the case here. Freddy's a little late, gets under it, and we go to a 1-1 count. Curveball down in, gets the foul ball, gets the 1-2. Heck of a pitch here, and definitely had Freddy frozen, but does not get the call. Just a dart to the inside corner. And another thing about Paul that I want to point out here at the very beginning. Last season, he was moving around on the rubber a lot. He was all the way over on this far right-hand side versus lefties, and then he would shift over to the first base side versus righties to create 2 different angles and routes of the ball to the plate. But now he's kind of settled up at being neutral. But even being neutral with the way that Paul throws, where his arm kicks out way side, the ball is releasing from way outside the zone and always coming in at an inward angle. This is called horizontal approach angle. So not only does he have a steep vertical approach angle going upward, he also has a steep one coming from right to left. And you can see it on this fastball that's called a ball. This ball is boring in on Freddy just from the angle that Paul throws from. Anyway, doesn't get the call, and we go to 2-2. Change up arm side. That's the second one that he's left arm side. He did not like this rep at all. He was not happy with himself. That's the second time that he's kind of overcooked a changeup, and he's going to go ahead and fix it here and throw a very good one this time. Didn't appear to have any drop on it. But, again, when you're on 100 miles an hour, timing-wise as a hitter, a pitch with similar movement like a changeup that simply is not 100 miles an hour, is about 10 miles an hour slower, is going to get you your weight out on your front foot, and you're very likely to make weak contact, and that's what happens here. Freddy kind of gets out on his front foot and pops it up. And so Paul has a 1-2-3 first inning. Yeah, very weird swing, as you can see there. All right, so that's it for the first inning takeaways. Fastball looks good. Definitely wants to go to the changeup against these guys. Has to dial in the command of that. Breaking ball looks okay, but nothing much to learn yet. Second inning, Teoscar Hernandez. So far he's used the sinker now twice. This was the first pitch sinker to Teoscar, and both times they were right on right. Goes with it again, and this is a very common approach. Pound sinkers in with righties in with sinkers from a right-handed pitcher. And then that kind of opens up that tunnel for you to start something on the inside and sweep it out to the left, which is what he just tried to do with that sweeper.
His career against Skenes with a home run.
Then he goes up with the four-seam, giving you a different effect, a different type of action on a fastball. And, it's pretty easy to predict. When you have that type of sequence, going to be usually resulting in a swing and miss or a pop-up. And that's what happens here. Teoscar gets under this pitch. Can't quite get there. It's the first four-seam he saw, and it's a lazy fly out. And that's very good usage of 2 different fastball shapes in that at-bat. All right, Conforto.
Found Kershaw's glove.
First pitch backdoor sweeper. Beautiful opening pitch to a lefty.
How he did it as well. He said, I think they were you know, it didn't hit me. He
Comes
was
with a
waiting
fastball
for
off of
it.
that,
He
dotted
was
down and
waiting.
away, and now he's in the driver's
Really
seat.
good on these hits. Yeah, how the heck did he catch that?
Up away, another foul ball. So 3 pitches away in a row. Goes with the slower curveball, doesn't get the trigger. This ball simply popped out of the hand too low. You can see it's too low to generate a swing. Pretty easy take for Mike. So 1-2. He's going to go back to that changeup. Another arm side miss. This time he does get the swing though. Foul ball. I would expect the fastball in at some point. They decide to go up away. Conforto is just surviving this at bat. They got to go in at some point. Here it is. Yep, there's the in target. There's the freeze. So anytime that you flood an area to a hitter, and certainly in this at bat, this is a good example of it. Every single pitch up until the final pitch of this at bat was away, 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 away. The hitter can't help but start to send his energy that way to cover that spot. And then eventually, once you feel like you've done it enough, the opportunity arises to pitch in. And all he does here is he just sticks a fastball in. It's not even painted, but it has such an effect because Mike's energy is going out. He's not looking for the ball to come in there. And he's frozen on the 99.8 mile-an-hour fastball. Now Pages. Once again, going right on right with the sinker, which I like. This is a new approach for him a little bit from last year. Didn't throw a true sinker last year. It was mostly a splinker. But I really love the alternating effect. He goes sinker there and then four seam right off of that. So he's going to get 0-2 here to Pages, and he showed him 2 different fastballs. So as a hitter here, you don't know what approach to take with your bat path. Do you try to turn and connect with a four seam, or do you try to get under and beat a sinker in on you to the spot? You're kind of up the paddle, up the creek with no paddle, as they would say. So 0-2. Let's see how he tries to survive this at bat.
Stay away.
Pretty dang good take by Pages there. This was an excellent slider by Skenes. This ball's a strike for a long time. Barely gets off the corner.
Beautiful.
Pages spits on it.
Great 0-2 pitch.
Paul comes back with a changeup, but once again, a little bit of an early trend on the negative side. Not that he does much wrong, but a couple changeups now here that he has left far out to the arm side. I'm sure that'll be cleaned up in very short order.
Perfectly placed.
2-2 sweeper, leaves it in. Pages swings, emergency hack foul ball. This is a long at bat.
Man.
Really good fastball there. That should have worked, but Pages stays really tight here, and he's able to nick it and see another pitch. So 3 pitches in a row that were kind of left up in. He totally wants this pitch away, but he kind of gets away with it here because it doesn't get back into the hitting zone. So kind of surprised Pages swung at that. Another one. So he's missed 4 or 5 balls in a row arm side, but he's got a guy in swing mode. When you have a guy in swing mode like this, you continue to throw pitches that he doesn't want to swing at because right now he can't help but swing. I mean, this pitch almost hits him, and yet he pulls it foul. See how he finally gets him. He's going to put him away with a sweeper. If he gets it away, he's done.
2-2.
And sure enough, he gets it away, even though it's up and away, and he's done. He finishes the second inning with a beautiful strikeout of Pages.
2-2. And a wave and a miss at the sweeper.
He does a really good job of reading the at-bats, and this is why, pitchers, you build your arsenal out so deep. Because you're going to face a lot of different type of hitters. There's going to be different type of at-bats that sort of develop over time, and if you have all the weapons to go to different things when you see them, then you can react to anything. All right, Ha-Seong Kim, who is now... Oh, this is the other Ha-Seong Kim. This is the Dodgers rookie. All right. Getting his first look at Skenes, I'm sure. Fastball, 1-1 count. Fastball up in again, so just trying to bully this guy with heaters. Makes sense. He's a contact-oriented guy, not a lot of pop. First time you see him, let's boss him a little bit. So that's what he does. He throws him 3 heaters, gets them all sped up, and then slows him down with the curveball and gets him to chase a bad pitch in the dirt. I'm not sure if he went, though. Could we take a look at that? What do you guys think on that? I think that's it's very borderline because the hands are kind of back, but the hands are way out in front of the body. Of course, I'm a pitcher, so I want this as a swing, but I'm not 100% sure. It might have been a take, honestly. Right, Miggy Rowe. Yep, another right on right sinker. And he gets the chopper. This is why you throw him. You have a very good chance of getting a first pitch ground ball, and a first pitch out allows you to get deeper into the game. And now Dalton rushing. This is going to be the first hit of the game. Four-seam up, miss. So he's going to double up 1-0, and rushing is going to get himself a fastball to hit. Ooh, he thought he got it. 107.6 at 38. This is a home run most of the time. Ooh, hits the very top of the yellow. Ends up staying in the yard, which is unfortunate for rushing. But really good swing. This is the ability that a guy down in the order can have sometimes to really surprise a pitcher. You know, he's been rolling. This is the 9-hole. He falls behind 1-0. You're that hitter in that circumstance. You know he's just trying to pour in strikes. He anticipates a fastball. He gets a fastball. He's on time. He almost cranks a homer. Kind of curious, though, about this ball, if this was an expected home run or not. Because it feels like it. Dalton rushing. 750 expected batting average on that. Home run in 12 of 30 parks. Okay. Interesting to note. We'll move on. So man on second, 2 outs. Shohei comes up. Looks like he walks him. So let's see how he pitches him here. Is he careful early? First pitch, backdoor breaking ball. Dotted. Nice pitch. Change up down away. Good take off that breaking ball. Another change up down. So definitely being a little careful with Shohei here. Second time through, man in scoring position. Pulls the curveball. And then 3-1, you're probably not going to give in. He does throw fastball. Yeah, and he kind of just lets it go. You can see Paul's a little frustrated with his, you watch the move by him here where he does this move with his arm. He's telling himself, stay in line here. You're pulling off it a little bit. And he is. He's made a number of misses to the arm side. But one thing about Paul Skenes, he's really good at fixing these things really fast. So don't expect that to continue. So now Mookie is up with 2 on and 2 out. Slider ball. Last time he went slider strike, sinker in, got the ground out. So now slider ball. Let's see where he goes here. He goes 4-seam. Interesting. Hits it hard. Gets in on him a little bit. Hits it right to short, and that's an out. So this could have been a potential advantage of using 2 different fastball shapes on Mookie. First one was a sinker, so he has that planted in his head. Second one's a 4-seam. Maybe he fires the barrel in not quite the right spot, and obviously he gets out. So good job there, working out of a little bit of trouble, and we're on to the 4th. Freddie Freeman. Let's see if Skenes can fix his arm side misses. There's another one. Sweeper away. Ooh, really good pitch to hit, but beats him anyway. Here's the first splitter, or splinker, if you will. Still an awesome pitch.
Nick York just trying to learn how to play some first base.
94.8 gets the rollover. It's just a really good pitch. It's too fast to identify anything about the pitch speed-wise as it's on the way to the plate, and by the time the bottom kind of drops out of it, it's too late. You're already swinging, and that's what happened to Freddie there. All right, Teoscar. Got him to pop up on a 4-seam the first time. So sweeper strike. Here comes the sinker in. He's been doing this all day. Actually paints this one away. Very nice pitch. Gets the take.
He said he has since returned
So
it
0-2.
So
Sweeper off that.
but it is nice to know that he's feeling more comfortable in that position.
Wow. Emergency hack by Teoscar, stays alive. And then when you see a swing that late on a slider, you got to go fastball. He does, and he blows him away with a beautifully located fastball up. And that's just good reading of it. The swing was super late and emergency style on the 0-2 sweeper, and if you're late on a sweeper, you're going to be very late on the 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Paul reads that, executes, and blows his doors off. All right, Conforto. This is a 9-pitch at bat. Fastball up away, ball. Sweeper backdoor, doesn't get the call, doesn't quite get it back there. 2-0 heater, and Mikey does not get the head out. Now, this is similar to the rushing situation. You got 2 outs, nobody on. A pitcher who does not want a free base runner here. Fastball's been a strike pitch all day. So this is one of those times where a calculated guess, you know you're getting a fastball. You got to get the foot down early. You got to get the bat head out, and you got to get this ball pull side in the air. Instead, he's super late and kind of gets handcuffed on a 2-0 swing. So that's not what you're looking for from a hitting approach there. So what do you do if you're a pitcher and you see that? You stick with it. You throw a little bit higher, and you get over that barrel. And now it's 2-2.
Not rooting for a strikeout.
And you stick with it again. This is a good choice. This time he makes the mistake of the pulled four-seam down in. This is usually where the home runs happen. But this is the advantage of throwing 99 miles an hour all the time. Guys are still late on it. And he gets to 2-2 again.
Maybe first or second strikeouts.
Curveball down. Pretty good take.
And
now we're in a 3-2 sitch.
Pitch 3-2.
Splinker, good pitch, got the rollover. Unfortunately, it was foul, so the at-bat continues.
In these circumstances.
Goes back to that four-seam up. Actually, really surprised Mike made contact with this ball, to be honest with you. Because this is a really well-located four-seam up. But he does, and he gets to the last pitch, where he drops an absolutely unfair changeup. Hadn't seen a changeup the whole at-bat. Saw a lot of different fastballs, different fastball-type shapes. He saw sinker, splitter, four-seam. Maybe not sinker, splitters and four-seams, so a bunch of fastball-type pitches. Then he drops this changeup on him. This is just an unfair situation right here. Unfair pitch. This pitch is trending in the zone the whole way. You've been seeing fastballs, so now you're trying to catch up to the fastball, and then this ball just doesn't get there, and you are way out in front of it. And he's done such a good job. Him and Henry Davis, his catcher, has been catching all his starts. They've done such a good job of reading these at-bats and understanding how to use all of Paul's weapons. All right, so that's the fourth. We go to the fifth. Pages.
Against Andy Pages.
Sweeper. Gets the first pitch swing and rollover. Pitcher's best friend is that first pitch out, especially the first out of the inning. Allows you to exhale a little bit and just keep rolling. All right, Kim. Ooh, Kim's like, I don't think I can hit this guy. I'm gonna try to bunt my way on. Take it all the way there. Gets to 1-1.
Long-time friend and working the scoreboard room.
Bullies him again with a fastball. Now he's gonna try that same sequence as before. Bully him with the heater. Throw the curveball down. This time, Kim, good adjustment. No swing. So Paul says, okay, you survived that. Can you survive my changeup? Gets him way out front. Pops it up to right. Once again, these are the type of swings he's getting on his changeup. Guys way out front. Just all they can do is just throw the hands. He's done it to Freddy twice. Now he's done it to Kim. All right, Miggy Rowe. This is going to be the second hit of the game. Again, 2 outs, nobody on. This time he pours in a strike. So good fundamental there. Here comes the second splinker of the game. Nasty. Blows him up. So now it's 0-2. Ooh, let's go right on right changeup. I love it. Leaves it arm side. Okay, let's go sinker. Probably backdoor. Yep, backdoor sinker coming. Leaves it middle. And that's why the hit happened. Now, I don't love this pitch call off of the previous 2 pitches. Splinker, changeup, both have arm side fade. Now he's trying to throw another arm side fade pitch, but to the outside. The idea here is for him to nail the corner and catch him freeze him. Where he messes up is he just kind of leaves it down the middle. But he also messes up a little bit, I think, with pitch choice here because it's the third pitch in a row with similar arm side fade. So just because the ball starts out on the outside corner, that doesn't mean Rojas is not going to swing. He's probably going to swing because he's expecting the ball to come back towards him. That's what happens here. It's a sinker that comes back towards him. It actually just so happens to be a pitch he can handle. Fastball down. And he shoots it up the middle. Second hit of the game.
Up the middle.
And now Dalton Rushing. So Dalton Rushing crushed a fastball that first time. Let's see how Skenes gets him this time.
Yeah, he went the first 2.
Goes right back at him with the fastball, saying, all right, we're going to play hardball, and I bet he goes away from it quickly. Yep, here comes the changeup.
Whoops.
Oh, D bats him with a perfect changeup.
0-2.
Dude, this is so nasty. This is the pitch of the night for me. He's now convinced Rushing that we're in a pissing contest. My fastball versus your bat. I'm going to get you this time. I know you crushed me last time. He convinces him that by throwing the first pitch heater this at bat. And then he says, actually, I'm going to pull the Bugs Bunny on you. Whoop.
Whoops. Change up.
And there goes your bat. This is why I wish I would have learned to change up as a kid, and why I encourage all kids to learn change up as their first primary off-speed pitch. It dominates, man. It dominates everybody. Righties, lefties, rookies, old guys. It doesn't matter. You set it up right, it's game over. So he triples up on changeup. Still has him way out front now. Now he's going to cycle back to that four seam. Good try. Up away. Good take. Give Rushing credit. Good take. And then curveball in. Foul ball, and he'll finish him with a fastball. So he finally got him off the heater, and now he's able to doors him with the 99. Of course, it helps that it's up and in. With that, with the double whammy of the VAA and the HAA and the speed. Really tough pitch to hit, and he gets the strikeout. All right, 6th inning. He's going to go through the order for a 3rd time. It's the big 3. And let's see how he goes about it. Shohei, first pitch sweeper, backdoor strike. Nice pitch. Change up off that. I mean, even Shohei, way out front on a changeup. Learn the changeup, kids. And then fastball up. And Shohei kind of just got owned in that at bat. Totally dominated. This is an I quit swing. This is a you've got me. I don't know what was coming, and now I'm just waving at things. Beautiful job by Skenes there. All right, Mookie's gotten 2 ground outs, 1 on a sinker, 1 on a 4. Taken all the way, sinker strike. Now he's going to switch to the 4 seam. Once again, toggling between 2 different fastball shapes. Very effective. Actually, this is a perfect pitch. Doesn't get the call, but a perfect pitch. So we go to 1-1. Now he goes back to the sinker. Fouls him off. 1-2. Now he's going to go sweeper. Actually leaves it way arm side and in, but Mookie's in protect mode, swings, ends up popping it up for the 2nd out. And then his final batter is Freddy.
It'll be interesting. Say he finishes with 93 pitches.
Yeah.
Ball
1. Curveball down.
The big man. 2-0. 3-0.
All right, so he got to 3-0. Pours in the 3-1 at the bottom of the zone. Decides to stick with it. Challenge heater with a 5-run lead. Does throw it middle. Freddie puts a really nice swing on it. Unfortunately, he just misses it. 99-3 at 34 to center. And Skenes is through 6 scoreless innings. Final line, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts on 94 pitches. Like I said, he's down to a 1.98 ERA on the season. Paul Skenes, what can I say? This guy continues to just destroy everybody. 1.98 ERA is crazy. He's definitely the front runner in the clubhouse for the NL Cy Young. No doubt about that. He has taken this league by storm. And really, it's impressive how he does it. He moves it around. He changes his arsenal quite a bit. To further drive home that point about the splinker versus last year versus this year, just want to show you the run value leaderboard for his pitches. As you can see, last year the split finger or splinker 2024 had a 17 run value, was by far his most effective pitch. Like I said, multiple batters told me that this was one of the nastiest pitches they had ever seen with their own human eyes, and yet he completely has now gone away from it, especially in the 2nd half, and he's pumped up this changeup. Now, the changeup this year has a positive 10 run value, and last year he threw it very sparingly, only 5.4% of the time. I don't know if this is a health-related decision or a strategy-related decision, but I'm not going to quibble with it because his results have absolutely not changed. They've actually probably gotten better, and I think, in a way, going to more changeups has increased the effectiveness of the 4-seam fastball. 20 run value this year on 4 seams. So it's a 4-seam, it's a sweeper, and it's a changeup driving the bus this year. Last year, it was more of the 4-seam and the split or the splinker that drove the bus last year. Trying to see the ex-Wobas real quick on a couple things. Interestingly, yeah, the splitter this year hasn't played as well, has a 333 ex-Woba, which would be his worst pitch, besides the curveball, which doesn't throw very often. Still, though, I think it's a really good pitch stuff-wise, really unique pitch, velocity combined with drop. So he's just so good, man. It's kind of impressive. Not kind of impressive. It's crazy impressive to be this good in your first 2 years, and basically put up carbon copies results-wise both years. So yeah, there's Paul Skenes once again showing us what is possible at the age of 23. Pretty crazy. If he was on a better team, I think he'd have outside MVP votes. So you'd get some MVP votes in the top 5. Obviously on the Pirates, I don't know how that will work out. All right, let's get off this for a second and let me get in the chat again. We've got some stuff in the chat. Got some stuff about Junior Caminero. Yep, I watched all of his 112 plus mile an hour exit velo contacts yesterday. Only one was a home run. Most of them were line drives. One thing I noted yesterday in the stream about Junior Caminero that I liked is that he has Yandy Diaz on his team, and I think Yandy's approach will rub off in a really positive manner on Junior, keeping him to the big part of the field because he's got enough pop to use the opposite field for power. And to me, it's like if you can stay on fastballs to the opposite field and take those out, and then that gives you enough time to wait on breaking balls, you're in about as deadly a spot as you can be at the plate. And if Junior can continue that, and that Yandy Diaz approach can rub off on him through osmosis, Junior Caminero's ceiling just gets that much higher. Great pitching matchup tonight. Chris Sale versus Logan Gilbert. Love that. Love seeing Saylor back on the mound after that weird ribcage injury or whatever he had earlier. Less Ks this year, but would you say he's better this year? Talking about Skenes. It's a carbon copy, but I think he's probably pitching more innings per start, which is a little more valuable. And strikeouts aren't everything. At the end of the day, let's not forget that runs are the name of the game. Strikeouts are the safest method to not give up runs. Nothing bad can happen if the ball never gets put in play. But if you want to go deep into games, you're going to need to get some quick outs. You're going to need to learn how to control your contact better. And it looks like Paul has gotten really, really good at that. Average exit velo, 87th percentile. It's fantastic. I know it was great last year too. Simply put, I think he's trying to make an effort to remain durable and to remain, the type of guy that can go deep in games all the time. And also, he's not giving the hitters anything to key in on. He's willing to shapeshift all the time. I think that splitter will come back and be a big part of his game at some point. But he has the right and the capability to kind of mix and match any way he wants. And really, at this point, he's been put on such a master class through 52 career starts. Who am I to argue with it, right? Do you collect baseball cards? This is a question from DFN Gaming. I did a lot growing up, and I collect all of my own cards that I've had over the years. I wanted to make sure I had one of those. But yeah, I think the hobby's great. Baseball cards are just really cool. It's the early way that I learned about all the players was through their numbers on the cards. Besides just that, obviously box scores in the paper. But, I didn't have MLB The Show growing up and things like that to learn about the players. I had to learn about them through baseball cards. So it was a really good way to do that. Is Skenes winning the Cy Young? He's definitely the leader in the clubhouse at the moment, 100%. A couple people saying Scott Ward, who is always in my chat over on my page, really smart to give the Splinker a rest. I agree. I think it's just smart a little bit. Also, I've talked about this a little bit. I don't think splitters are inherently dangerous, but there is a little bit of a different effect when you split your fingers, just on the overall tension in your forearm. If you guys want to take a ball at home and you just see the difference between holding your fingers together like on a sinker and then splitting them really wide on a splitter, you do feel an increased preset tension through the forearm and the flexor. Doesn't mean it's inherently dangerous. You just have to train it. But I think if you just start spamming a pitch like that and you're not used to it and your arm's not ready for that workload and that different kind of feeling, you can get yourself in trouble. So maybe there's some of that going on. But it's all speculation because he's made every damn start and he's shoved in all of them. All right, what else in here? Now, a couple stuff from my wife. I love you too. And all right, that's it. So, not sure what else I want to look at yet. Like I said, there wasn't a ton of games we could watch. The Rangers Suarez outing, he's a fun guy to watch. So sometimes when I'm in this situation, I pop over to Baseball Reference and I see who the top performers were yesterday. On the offensive side, oh, that's still from Thursday. This is from Thursday? Yeah, today's Friday. So Yordan, 4 for 5 and a homer. Colson, 1 for 2 with a homer. McMahon, 3 for 4 with a homer. So we'll go over to... So Freddy Peralta, Ranger Suarez, Carlos Rodon are all starters that deserve a little bit of love today. Also, this Bobby Witt home run off Zephyr John, which was the #1 win probability added play. So first, let's go watch Bobby Witt's at-bat versus Zephyr John in the Royals-Angels game, and then we're going to go look at Yordan Alvarez and Ryan McMahon from that other game. So it is Royals and Angels first. Kansas City Royals, Los Angeles Angels. And we're looking for this Zephyr John, Bobby Witt at bat. Now hold on, we have 3-3 game tied in the 8th. Nobody on and 2 out. So let me just break down this situation if I'm pitching in this moment. One of the reasons why Bobby Witt is so important and so valuable and such a tough guy to plan for is because if you walk him here, if you pitch carefully here, he's likely stealing second anyway, and now you're setting him a situation where a single beats you, right? So you can't walk him. You got to go at him unless you fall way behind, because you also have to remember he's got stupid pop, and a home run beats you here too. So this is one of those situations where you have to execute really smart, keep him in the ballpark, but you got to go at him, and you can't walk him either. So let's watch it. Zephyr John. First pitch sweeper. Spits on it low. Here comes another sweeper. Not a great swing at it. Got him reaching a little bit down here. So sweeper, sweeper. Let's see if he triples up or if he goes to something else off that foul ball. Looks like he's going to go to the fastball. Wow. Fastball in. 97 in. And yet Bobby's on time and beats him to the spot. Now, I do think that there was a little bit to glean and a little bit to learn actually from the foul ball right before that. Now, again, I didn't read it in real time, so I might have got clipped here as well. But let's watch the foul ball here on the sweeper. This is a 1-0 sweeper. Let's watch the foul ball.
Look for the fastball. Got a slider. Sweeper.
Looking back on it now, this foul ball tells me a little bit that he's on the fastball. For one thing, he's out front with he's already way on the front foot as he goes to swing at this ball. So his timing of when he wanted to rotate was expecting the ball to already be crossing the plate at this point. But since it's not, he had to kind of give a little bit with that front leg to still get down and hit this ball. And something also about the way that he kind of steps a little bit open gives me a second clue that maybe he's definitely hunting something fastball in here. Because these feet get a little bit in an open position. That's the angle that they were at. So those are 2 clues, but clearly, like I said, I would not have read them in the moment.
For the fastball.
I thought maybe this foul ball meant, fastball was a good choice. And clearly it wasn't, because this is actually a really tough pitch to hit. Off the plate, in, pretty elevated, and yet Bobby Witt beats him to the spot. Just such a great athlete, and sometimes, you make a good pitch, and the batter makes an even better swing. And that's what happens here. And Bobby Witt, he's got the speed power combo that I always talk about. That's the ultimate tool package that you want as a baseball player, as a position player. But also, he's so amazing and efficient at rotating that he's one of the smaller guys in the league. And I say smaller in quotes compared to like the big monsters that hit. He's one of the smaller guys in the league that still doesn't need to do much with his swing to generate any pop. Look at this load here. All he does is just slightly cock the upper body. There's no move with the lower body, just a relatively medium-sized step forward as he just does this with his upper body, very Paul Goldschmidt upper body-ish. Just all he does is just slightly close the lead shoulder, and then he just unfurls. So Simplicity is key at the highest level when you're facing such amazing velocity and pitch types that they have in the big leagues, and Bobby showcases a very simple swing there. So that was awesome. Bobby Witt. I've been wanting to do a video on him as well because you can just see real quick by his Baseball Savant page. He's freaking awesome at everything. 94th percentile batting run value, 98th in base running value, and 99th in fielding run value. So he's doing it in every which way you can do it. Not quite having the season he had last year, but it doesn't matter. This is still in the short list of players that you would start your franchise and your team with because he's doing it literally everywhere on the field, offensively, defensively, and on the base paths. And great kid. Played with him on Team USA 2 years ago, WBC, and all he wants to do is just keep his head down and play good baseball. So that's a great place to be. Royals have a keeper, hopefully forever there. Okay, now I said I was going to hop over, right, and look at Yordan, because Yordan, I watched him yesterday, all 5 at-bats on the chat, and he was super locked in, so the Yankees still hadn't figured out how to get him out. I'm curious how they went about it last night, since I didn't really watch too much of this game, and then we could watch that McMahon home run, which was so impressive as well. So let's hop over there. We'll go Yankees and Astros. I understand I probably have some stuff in the chat, so before I jump into this game, I'm going to quickly take a look at the chat for 1 second. Bobby Witt to me is so underrated. I mean, it's just because he's in Kansas City. Like, a lot of people aren't watching their games. I think everybody's aware, though, of how good he is. And Scott Ward, yep, you're seeing what I'm seeing, a walk as a double. Of course, I'm a little more sensitive to that because of my stolen base issues as a player, but yes, a walk as a double. And then Michael asks, is there anything to not giving a great hitter the same pitch 3 times in a row? Absolutely, of course. Generally speaking, the more often you expose a pitch, the worse it performs over the course of an at-bat or game. But this is where the reading of the at-bat comes in. You're trying to read stuff off of the foul balls, off of the takes, and try to understand where the hitter's at timing-wise or where he's trying to cover, where his attention is. So that's what I was trying to do, but I was also demonstrating how I'm not always right, and they're not always right, and that's what makes this game so good. The hitter can have something in his mind, and the pitcher can have no idea what that is. And kind of in that spot, it got exposed there a little bit. I mean, Bobby was able to hit a fastball in at 97 after 2 sweepers away. That's a very impressive adjustment or very impressive anticipation by him, one or the other. So that's a good question there from Michael in the chat. Now, also, he follows up and says, even if they aren't on it the first 2 times, yeah, generally, if a guy's way off of it, you probably stick with it, but you have to make sure to throw a less hittable version of that pitch than you did the first 2. You always want to be going from most hittable to least hittable as the at-bat progresses. When you go the other direction, bad things happen and loud contact occurs. All right, so here we are. Yordan Alvarez. This guy's going to make a huge impact in this race. This is one of the scariest hitters I ever had to face. I had no answers for this guy. And yesterday, I watched him get on all 5 times versus the Yankees, and then this time he's got a 4-hit night. So we might as well watch how they try to get him out. And it was left on left in the initial matchup here with Yordan. So left on left, he actually tries to beat the shift with a bunt. As you can see, they were giving him the hit here. This whole area is wide open over here. But whatever, he doesn't get it, and then he's actually going to get out on a sinker, which is a new pitch for Carlos this year, the left-on-left sinker. So he rolls him over the first at-bat for the only time they're going to get him out. Not that he didn't hit it hard, still hit it 105.4 just on the ground. So 1 out. And then here's the second at-bat. Fastball middle take. Comes another 4-seam. This time down and away. Ball. Here comes the slider.
Strikes out on a pitch that's not a strike, right?
Just misses up with it. So if you're the hitter, you staying on fastball or are you looking for that slider? I think Yordan's looking for a slider. Let's see. Well, sure enough, it's another slider.
That is your 4.
And he doesn't miss that one. He's all over it. Definitely sitting on slider there. Doesn't actually hit it as hard as he typically does, but does get it in the air at 25 degrees. Those are going to always be home runs with Yordan at the plate. So he clips Carlos there. Carlos got a little screwed on the previous slider that was in there. But then, yeah, goes from more unhittable, well, less hittable to more hittable, and loud things happen. Yordan with the homer. All right, next at bat. So Got him out with a sinker the first time. Gave up a home run on the slider the second time. Let's see what he goes for the third time.
95 feet. Beautiful launch angle, 25 degrees.
Goes back to that slider, but this time it's a perfect pitch. Dotted down and away. You could throw that every time. You'd probably get him out with just that.
7 at bats.
Yeah.
And try it again.
101.
Oof. Perfect pitch again. No swing this time.
Got him to hit it just 101.
Slider again. So triple sliders. Yordan, I think, anticipating him going away from the slider since he clipped him on it before. So I don't know. I don't know what he's doing here, and this is the tough thing about trying to read a hitter. He hasn't given you much information here, but you're trying to get him out. So we go to the fourth slider in a row.
Yeah, they do. Oh, take that. What?
And he actually throws a really good one. Yordan executed exactly as he should. This pitch is off the plate away. Yordan's in protect mode because it's 2 strikes, so he sticks the bat out, caps it just a bit off the end of his bat. And as you can see from the defense, there's nobody from that point over. And he's able to get a really cheap double. And this was kind of a funny foot race between slow Yordan and slow Stanton in left field, as Big G made no attempt. This is Big G here to try to throw him out here. He's just going to take a nice easy stroll, not get hurt, get the ball in, no big deal, and Yordan can cruise into second with a double. All right, so now he's going to get Weaver. He did get a hit off Weaver on a changeup away last night, 2 nights ago, where I broke him down yesterday, and so we're going to see what happens this at-bat for Luke Weaver. This time it's a fastball. They try to go in, they get it in, they paint it in. This is the ability that tells me that Yordan is super locked in right now, because not only is he covering away and a variety of pitches away, but when you do try to sneak the cheese in, he's somehow on time for it. This is actually a good pitch, height-wise, velocity-wise, everything-wise. And yet, Yordan keeps the hands tight, pulls them in, rotates, and hits it 109 at 4 degrees. So even though it's on the ground, it's hit so dang hard that there's no time for the fielders to get in front of it. And he's on base again with the third hit. And the fourth hit will come off of Bednar here in the ninth. So let's see how Bednar goes at him.
When he came
First
off
pitch
the
fastball
IL,
away attempt is a ball. Curveball down, backdoor paint, very nice pitch. Four seam down and away, paint again. So they're in the driver's seat. Let's see if they can try to put him away. They're going to try four seam up here. Misses too high, 2-2. Now they're going to go curveball.
Little cue shot, that's good.
Had him out front enough, but is able to put it in play. Spray it over the infield for his fourth hit and an RBI. This was a pretty good curveball by Bednar. I think it might get a little bit too close to Alvarez, and that's why he's able to hit it. But dude, in the last 2 nights, he's gotten hits on fastballs away, changeups away, fastballs in, sliders away, and now curveballs down. So 6 different types of pitches in an attempt to get this guy out, and they've all come up empty. He's been on base literally 9 out of the last 10 times versus the Yankees, and they're probably happy that they don't have to see him for a little while. But I've said it before, a lot of people don't realize how great this guy is, but he's in the short list of the best hitters in the league. He's basically a lefty judge up there. He's a good contact hitter who just has stupid power as well. It doesn't chase. One of the hardest guys to game plan for. There's literally almost nowhere you can go with this dude. It's amazing. All right, great. So, sorry for that. I had to check my phone for a second. We are an hour in, and we have only watched 3 or 4 things. Now, in this game, I did want to watch this McMahon home run, which was crushed. And this reminded me of Ryan McMahon. He was a rookie with the Rockies when I was there, and he came up. And at first, I noted his opposite field power. So check out this opposite field home run he hits off of Christian Javier. It's on a backdoor curveball, and he hits it all the way up there where that gas pump is. So left of center, opposite field of center, way back. This is a big boy home run on a curveball, so you're not getting a lot of the velo generated by the pitch. You know, you're not getting a lot of power generated by the pitch, and yet he still hits it 105. for 410 feet to the oppo side. This is a little bit of the intriguing talent and tool set of Ryan McMahon. Not only is he a great fielder, but he also has probably like top 20th percentile pop in the big leagues. So this is something that is another dimension that he's kind of bringing to the team along with his defense. And if he can get hot, that's another way to lengthen that Yankee lineup and continue on the good feeling they've been on. I also want to give love to Grisham. Grisham homers here off Ort. And this is his 30th home run, so here's the 30th homer. This sealed the deal. I don't think anybody had Trent Grisham 30 home runs this year coming into the year, but credit to him. I mean, this guy is such a cool customer, the way he plays the outfield, his swag at the plate, his no batting gloves approach. Just a guy, man, just a pro's pro, and a heck of a damn ball player, man. This was a heck of a pickup from the Yankees in that Soto trade. This is the guy who's really been paying dividends, man. And this is the 30th dinger. Let's watch it from the side, because usually he has some pretty cool bat drops. Yeah, he takes that wide turn. Oh. So swaggy. So just wanted to shout out Trent right there. 30 home run season. It's freaking awesome. All right, back in the chat here. Rodon disgusted that he gave him anything to hit. Yes. I mean, Yordan's that hot. I'm sure they had a meeting like, hey, this guy, be careful. We tried everything last night. But obviously there's times where you have to go at a guy. So that's what you do. How would you pitch to Yordan in the postseason? Well, I never had any answers for him. That's for sure. I do think maybe a lefty throttling two different types of fastballs could get him off the barrel. I think that slider down and away is a key pitch, but if you overexpose it early, he'll measure it. So the key is to kind of hopefully get him taking early, then expand late. Much easier said than done. Another thing to remember, though, and kind of your get-out-of-jail-free card with Yordan is he can't run. So if you walk him, he's kind of anchored there at first. So if that's not going to hurt you, you just walk him. You just walk him. That's the pro approach there. And obviously that's a ton of respect, but it's true. He deserves it. He's earned it. Yeah, Michael K on the broadcast seemed surprised by the pop of McMahon. McMahon's pop is crazy. It really is. Mac was a high school quarterback. Just a great all-around athlete. Obviously, he's been in Colorado. A lot of people haven't known about him. He has a lot of swing and miss in his game, but when he hits it, he hits it. Look at that average exit velo, 95th percentile. I wonder what his max EV is. It's got to be up there. Max EV, 87th percentile. And you see for his whole career here on the exit velo and hard hit categories, he's been really, really good. The only thing that he has to do is to clean up, and it's obviously easier said than done, is this whiff rate. And honestly, it's all in the zone. He's got a good chase, so figuring out a way for him to maybe shorten the swing up a little bit. I wonder what his bat tracking metrics are. Does he have a long swing? This is something that I've been looking into quite a bit lately, is the length of swings. Swing length 7.4, not even that long. So he's got a good combination of about an average swing length and above average bat speed. That should play. Not sure how I would get him to make more contact in the zone. Maybe it's a bat angle type of thing. But I don't want to take away his power either, right? There's always such a give and a take with everything. Let's see what type of, I don't know. I can't tell by his swing. I believe he's pretty scoopy, but let's see. McMahon, yeah, that's the thing. 39-degree swing tilt, which is very scoopy. That's going to make it hard for you to hit up in the zone fastball. That's probably what he gets beat on the most in zone. I love the 13-degree launch angle, attack angle. That's going to get the ball in the air a little more often. That's what he needs to do with his type of pop. But yeah, just the fact that he's a little scoopy with the shoulders exposes him a little bit up in the zone. Maybe we can get that swing path tilt into the 35-degree range, and that cleans up some swing and miss. But again, I'm not a hitting coach. I'm just looking at it more from a pitching perspective. How would I attack a guy? What has he got going on? Will Frazier, Grish was nice for a bit in San Diego. Nice to see him having a good year. Yeah, Grish is a great ball player, man. I mean, the defense is there. I think he's elite in defense. You know, interesting here, it has him as -1. I always felt like he was elite. Maybe it's because of how smooth and easy he is at catching everything. But man, look at this offensive profile this year. 100th percentile in chase rate. So he's literally swinging at the least balls in the league that he sees. Amazing. Walk rate's good. Barrel percentage, obviously, that has to be good to hit 30 dingers. So it's more of a power and walking approach, but it's really, really good. 840 OPS. That's way more than they bargained for. And he's just a great dude in the clubhouse. And I think he keeps this Yankee team a little more level-headed. So that's important. All right. I'll probably go for just a touch longer. I have to do an MLB Network spot. So I want to be done in about 10 minutes. Does that mean we have enough time to run through one more pitcher? I think we should maybe try to run through Freddy Peralta because he's on a 30-inning scoreless streak. And then we'll look at the probables. So it was Brewers and who did they play last night? Brewers and Phillies yesterday afternoon. We'll run through this really quick. Brewers and Philadelphia Phillies. Suarez, this was a great matchup. Suarez versus Peralta. So let's just speed watch a little bit through Freddy Peralta, and I can just show you a little bit of why he's so damn effective. And his has a lot to do with the electric fastball with a little bit of a cut shape to it. So what do I mean by that? It has a good lift, 18.1 on the induced vertical break, so that's how much the ball appears to rise and kind of stay up. And then 2.3 on the horizontal means there's not very much side-to-side movement. A typical fastball, four-seam fastball, averages about 8 inches horizontal. So it's 5.5 inches less than that. So that ball actually appears to the hitter that it's slightly cutting on the way to the plate, making it kind of a unique pitch. Also, we talked about mound position. Freddy is way over here on the right side of the rubber. So he goes cross body, as you can see where the landing leg is. It is on this angle. His energy is going this direction. And then the ball shoots from here and it trends back towards the plate. So this is a similar effect to Skenes, except it's a different shape of fastball. But again, it's an uncomfortable bat for a righty, and the ball's moving in an atypical way. As you can see there, that's a middle pitch to Trey Turner, who's been really, really good lately, and he's still nowhere near it. Then he ends up walking Schwarber. This is part of his game a little bit too. A little bit of there's a little bit of an effectively wild element to it, but nothing that I look at as a negative. And then the changeup's been a good pitch off that fastball too. Because it's such a unique fastball, he gets a lot of people on fastball timing. So any usage of a slow pitch like a changeup's going to do a good job. And he does it there, getting Bryce off the end on a fly out. And then he's going to get JT on a strikeout looking here.
1-2 the count. And Real Muto is
Paints him with that cutting four-seam. Also, 7-foot extension is elite, so he's combining several different layers to why his pitching is so hard to hit. So that's the first inning. Second inning, he also going to get a strikeout on Marsh on a fastball.
His best year as a big league pitcher.
And when you throw this angle, this is a beautiful pitch for me to demonstrate this point. When you throw this angle where you're cross body and your ball trends, and your ball trends back to the corner, like it has this type of effect. Look at this pitch. This is essentially a backdoor fastball, is what this is. Starts off the plate, ends up on the plate. Now this was a ball, but you get the idea. Just clips the corner. Really hard pitch for a hitter to swing at. And another weapon that he uses based off of his pitch movement. Now he's going to get my guy Bader here with a fastball as well. So you can see the fastball. The fastball's special. That's a middle down four-seam. Those balls get pummeled in the big leagues, but not his. Here's the first hit he's going to allow. It's on a curveball. But I want to give Freddy Peralta his flowers. The Brewers have the best record in baseball. Everybody knows about Mizorowski now. They certainly know about some of the offensive guys. But Freddy Peralta's been the steady guy. He's been there for a long time. And he continues to be really, really good. So he gets clipped for a double there on a curveball. And then he's going to get Alec Boehm on a fastball. Fly out pretty weak to center. And that's the second inning. Bryson Stott, strikeout. This time it's on a curveball.
You took my thing. Now I don't want to do it anymore. A swing and a miss.
One thing I like about his curveballs, it's nice and slow, 78. So throwing about 95, 78, 17, 18 miles an hour difference. Like I said, he's very good at getting people onto fastball timing. And that makes his off-speed play even better, like that curveball. All right, second time through.
First
Trey Turner.
bad, I gotta be honest.
Gonna get him out front on a curveball.
Right off
Yep,
the end
very
of the
out
bat.
front.
Joey Ortiz knows
Throws
he's
it
got to
over.
hurt.
Nice play. And then Kyle Schwarber, he's going to get out on a first pitch fastball.
Bat. I mean, crazy.
Broken bat.
Up in,
Stereo
kind of plays like a
on
cutter and
retreating.
beats him.
Got
And
time.
rolls it over there. Very nice. So fourth inning starts off with a walk to Harper. We won't watch that. And a single to JT. What's the single on? Now, mind you, he's got a scoreless streak going at this moment. He came into this game with a 26-inning scoreless streak. I have a little bit of familiarity with streaks, and trust me, you want to keep them going as long as possible. So first and second, no outs. This was on his mind here. How am I going to get through this inning? How am I going to get out of this inning? Well, this is how he's going to get out of the inning. First, Brandon Marsh. See ya. High fastball. 1 out. Then Bader.
On the fastball.
Gonna get him on the right-on-right changeup, which is just flat out mean.
And
Yep,
Bader
perfect pitch. See ya.
strikes out.
That's such a good pitch. And then he's gonna walk Kepler and set himself up the right-on-right matchup. Bases loaded, 2 outs that he wants. He gets this matchup. And
Goes with here, and
he ends up blowing it by Alec Boehm. Once again, another fastball that by location seems like a pretty good pitch to hit, but not his fastball. It's got something different on it, as I explained before, and it continues to work. So he only makes it through 5. Let's watch the 5th inning, but again, it's 5 scoreless, which pushes him actually to 29. Wait,
Had some firepower on that bench and never got to him.
30 or 31 scoreless now, as he gets a pop up there. Trey Turner, first pitch out on a curveball. So he's had him domed up about that fastball since that first at bat, because he gets him out with curveballs the next 2 times.
And Turner
And then he finished out his outing with Schwarber.
last night was a counter to that.
0-2 curveball.
With a guy like Koenig. Schwarber out in
Again,
front
gets
of
him
a
out front.
slow
So
curve.
he had the Phillies
72
with their weight
mile-an-hour
all over the
curveball.
place during this game. That's a little bit of what Freddy Peralta is capable of doing. They do end up losing this game 2-0.
That's an 8-pitch.
But he did his thing, extending the scoreless streak. There's been some questions in the chat about my thoughts on the Brewers. I'm buying the Brewers. I don't know if they'll win the whole thing, but there's no clear team this year that I can say is just way out in the lead ahead of everybody else in terms of how I think they're going to perform in the playoffs. So I have no idea. One thing I do like about the Brewers is I love their bullpen, except now Shelby Miller's out for the year, and I don't think Trevor McGill might make it back. So that's 2 big pieces, and now those numbers are starting to dwindle a little bit because from a pitching approach, they have to use a lot of guys and mix and match to kind of navigate themselves through playoff games. So on one hand, I like it, but they can't afford to lose any more dudes. And offensively, they're just an annoying team that's going to grind you down, and it's tough to face. So I believe in the Brewers to some extent. I wouldn't make them my favorite to win the whole damn thing, but I think they have a very good chance. Probably as good a chance as anyone. Anyway, they lose that game. And that is about it for the stream. We're just going to do the probables for today, Friday. New series kicking off today. A lot of exciting games tonight. A lot of exciting games this weekend. Okay, Jake Irvin, Javier Assad, Nats at Cubs. That will be the 2:20 game today. Mets at Reds, David Peterson, Andrew Abbott. So I think these guys actually matched up in Citi Field earlier. 2 All-Stars. 2 good lefties, 2 pitch-to-contact type lefties, so we'll see how this goes. Peterson had a tough last start. Abbott's been scuffling a little bit too, so this is a big series. We'll see how this series gets started off. White Sox Tigers, Shane Smith, Jack Flaherty from Comerica, Quinn Priester and Johan Oviedo. Brewers at Pirates. Dodgers at Orioles. Dodgers need to get back on track, so Glasnow, they sent him out there today versus Dean Kremer, who I believe was a former Dodger farmhand. But anyway, Glasnow, Kremer. Then we got, here's the first game, Blue Jays Yankees. Excited to watch this. Schlittler on the mound for the Yankees. He's been absolutely rolling since he made some, he says, I noticed he made some big adjustments with his four-seam fastball in his start versus the Rays a couple weeks back, and ever since then he's been rolling. His new game plan of kind of really being aggressive with that fastball, and he's going up against Gausman tonight. That should be a very entertaining series. Christopher Sanchez and Valente Bellozzo for the Marlins tonight in Miami. And then this was the before-mentioned matchup tonight, Logan Gilbert, Chris Sale. This is an outstanding matchup. Mariners desperate for wins, and then they got to go ahead and face Saylor, who I'm sure, is looking to go scoreless because that's what he does. Gavin Williams and Griffin Jacks. So Griffin Jacks is getting the start tonight. Is this an open, or are they going to give him a little runway here? Curious to see that. But the Rays going for that 8th win in a row and getting closer to a playoff spot. Minnesota and the Royals, TBA and Michael Wacha. And then Astros, TBA at Merrill Kelly and the Rangers. And we got Carson Seymour and Michael McGreevy, Giants at Cardinals. Can the Giants keep their hot streak going? Can they make this wild card race more interesting? And then Padres at Rockies. The recently ejected Kyle Freeland gets back out there only a couple days later, and he faces the Padres tonight at Coors. Mason Barnett and Jose Soriano, A's at Angels. And then our final game tonight, Peyton Tolley, who I have a really good breakdown video of his Major League debut on my channel, Adam Ottavino 0 on YouTube. He makes his second career start in the desert versus former Red Sox Eduardo Rodriguez. So this is interesting blast from the past for Red Sox fans, as well as a lot of anticipation for this kid, Peyton Tolley's second career start. He looked electric in that first start in more ways than one. So I'm excited to watch that too. Okay, as for the schedule for my show, we are moving to a Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Locked in time on my channel, Adam Ottavino 0. And then 10:30 every week on Friday will continue to be over here. We'll live over here on the MLB YouTube channel. Then the weekend schedule has now switched up a little bit. We are going to be doing Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Baseball After Dark streams. That's going to be me at 10 p.m. as the East Coast games are kind of wrapping up and there's a couple West Coast games going. That's when we're going to do the weekend stream. Sunday, we're going to take off from here on out. That way we don't miss any days, but I still get one day off of the stream. But we've been doing great. I'm really grateful to everybody who subscribed to my channel recently and has been watching the videos. There's much more to come. We're going to have guests on. We're going to have conversations. We're going to have more breakdowns. We're going to have a lot of really intriguing baseball stuff for you guys. So stick with me on Baseball and Coffee and over on my channel, Adam Ottavino 0 on YouTube, as well as catching me here on the MLB channel on Fridays. And don't forget, I'll post all this stuff, but don't forget about Saturday night After Dark Baseball, which is when you'll see me next tomorrow night over on my channel, 10 p.m. Thanks for hanging with me. It's been a good time. I love hanging out with this different crew over here on the MLB YouTube channel. And thanks so much for making me a part of your morning. So I will see you next Friday on this channel. And if you're going to pop over to my channel, I'll see you guys tomorrow night on Baseball After Dark, Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Or if you want to wait all the way till Monday, Baseball and Coffee, 10 a.m. on my channel that day. So thanks a lot for hanging with me, and I'll see you guys later.